Good evening. Welcome to WillPower UnSurfaced. I'm your host, Teron Sams, and I'm here with my co-host, Dawn Baynes.
Hey, y'all.
And we have a lot to talk about today. There's been a lot going on with the protests, with the murder of George Floyd. So we're going to get right in. You want to start, Dawn?
All right, before we even touch on that, let's talk about the beauty of, the weather.
Oh, yes. It's a gorgeous day.
It's gorgeous outside. We have been blessed with some great weather. Of course, we know COVID-19 is still alive and well. It's just halftime for COVID-19 at the moment. So continue to practice social distancing. Continue to wear your mask if you're going to be out and not at home or in a private setting. So, but anyway, I want to tell you guys about my weekend. I had a great weekend. Saturday, I went and I played Uno again. The drunk Uno. Oh my God, I was trashed.
Don't need a beating.
Oh Lord, help me. Child, I am not happy. I played Pity Pat and I played Uno. And man, oh man, but I had an absolute blast. And I can't wait to do it again. And let's hope that I'm invited back.
Well, they invited you back from the last time.
They invited me back. So Fatima, Earl, Will, thank you. You know, Fatima's a really good teacher. She's a really good partner. She's teaching me how to play the game where Will and Earl have this conspiracy going on with them two. They feed off each other. They cheat together.
Oh, is that what they do?
I'm thankful that she let me know. She hit me to the game. So I'm like, oh man.
Talk.
Something has to
there you go.
Something has to give. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. But I would like to do like a video of us playing the game so I can show you.
Right.
And then I'm gonna post it on my Facebook wall because I think it's something that everybody can play, should play. It's clean, fun. Whatever you can do it with Kool-Aid, whatever it is that you want to do it with. For you it would be like E&J.
No, Crown Apple.
Crown. It's a brown.
Right.
For us, it's the white.
Quiet as it's kept, E&J is malt liquor.
Oh, see, I don't drink it. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm telling you, I had an absolute blast. I was just so embarrassed that I couldn't get up yesterday. I couldn't fully function. I got up, I took a shower, I ate a bowl of cereal. I got back in the bed. I was like, oh my God, help me. And everybody know, like, Sunday is my church service day. So I'm in church and I'm online at the service. I didn't even take communion yesterday. I had my juice and stuff ready.
Drunk, couldn't drink none of that great wine.
I said, Lord, I ain't playing with you. I said, I'm not playing with you. I ain't even taking communion. I hopped off of there before the service was over. I went and laid back down. I said, Lord, forgive me. I got to get my soul right.
Yeah, right. That was the second Saturday, but anyway.
I got to get my soul right. I got to do better. I said, Lord, help me. What in the world? But I'm telling you, last night, but it's something about being out with great company. You're being safe. You're safe. The hospitality is really outstanding. Really good. I had a really good time. And if I'm comfortable and if I'm in a place where I feel safe, I'm cool. I can really flow and be me.
Right.
Because I've been in situations where I've been and I wasn't safe.
Right.
And I was intoxicated.
You can't be around awake people when you're drunk.
No, but this is what happened. I went to a bar one night. This is a few years ago. And this is why, I always tell women in particular, I'm one, if I'm not with my girlfriends, I'm not afraid to go out alone.
Right.
So I'm out and I'm drinking all of these Ciroc punches. And I'm throwing them back. And this guy comes up to me. And he was like, how you doing? He's like, I seen you before. I was like, yeah, okay. Well, long story short, this fool told me he was going to walk me home. And I told him no, he wasn't. And he said, yes, I am.
I'm his sister.
Oh, no, you're not. So I'm like, and I had said to these two guys that were sitting next to me who I just met that night, and I said, do me a favor. Keep an eye on him for me. Mm-hmm. And they said, sis, you ain't even got to say nothing. We already on it. They said, how you getting home? I said, I'm at the walk.
He said he was going to walk me, but nah. Nah.
I'm at the walk. And to this day, the three of us are really good friends. We'll hang out, we're really good friends. I let them do because they looked out for
Yeah,
me.
they sure. Yeah, that's what's up.
They looked out for me, but here I am somewhere just free to be me, doing me, and
Well,
my
you thought
safety
you
thought
were.
I was, and my safety was in jeopardy. And I'm like, yo, I can't. I got to pull back.
Right.
So that's why I say if I go somewhere and I'm comfortable and I'm having a good time, I'm relaxed. Yo, I'm free to be. I don't have no worries. I didn't have any worries Saturday. I knew I was in good hands with Will. I knew I was in good hands with Earl and Fatima. I was cool. I was like, yo. But like I said, I hope I can go back. I hope I'm invited back. God
You
is
said that
God.
the last time, though. I think they like.
But they calling me to come back.
Cause see, what usually happens when you go out, people like crazy people. So what usually happens is like if you're like the crazy one at the party, they be like invite her back because she was the life of the party.
I did. I had a really
So you'll
great
be invited
time.
back.
So I'm gonna go back this Saturday.
See?
Because they invited me back this Saturday. So I'm gonna go back. I'm just gonna try not to have a repeat of last Saturday. Because I need to be able to function because I couldn't. It was bad. It was bad.
It was worse than the first time.
The first time I did all right because I was a little reserved. This last time, now see, when I was at another friend of mine's house, I didn't know what was going on. I woke up, I had been vomited. I didn't know what happened.
Oh my God!
So I woke up and I'm like, yo,
every
what
time
happened?
I turn around, Niecy is showing me. I mean, Dawn is showing me something else.
But see, that was because I mixed silver and gold tequila together, and child, I didn't know what was happening. But this time I just drank. I stuck with what I know, and oh my gosh, I was trashed. I'm embarrassed to say that. But then again, no, I ain't.
Brownie. Brownie talking about he coming tomorrow. Brownie, where you coming to? He coming to the party. Brownie said he coming. He coming to the.
We're going to have a party, Brownie. Don't worry about it. We're going to get it in.
Come on, brother. We're going to have one. We're going to have one. And we're going to invite all the 89ers.
Yeah.
All our 89
Yeah, we need to have a party, a cookout
and
or
their
something.
family.
Yeah.
Soon, because, it's like this little corona and this pandemic and protests and it's a lot of stuff going on.
And when we get
It's a
together,
lot of
that's
stuff
why I
going
got to
on.
record it so we can see how it goes and see how that's something we can play.
I'm not getting in any of the videos, but I will be in the
And it's no video. What happens there stays there. What happens there stays there. Ain't no video. No video.
Did y'all
That's
hear
condition.
that?
No
What
video.
happens, it stays. What happens there stays there.
I'm just telling on me because I had a hard time getting myself together. So, Will, if you're watching this, I just want you to know I had a hard time. It wasn't pretty.
He said he on his way to the C bus. Come on, Brownie. He's so crazy. I love my brother.
But yeah, you guys get out there, enjoy this weather. Get out there and go see some friends that you haven't seen in a minute. Make it happen. And just like I said, minimize your contact. Practice safe social distancing and put your mask on and go see your peeps. Go have a good time.
Go. Wear your mask. It was a lot of like protesting going on, and it was a lot. And I'm like, I really don't like that mask. That's not. That thing is really annoying to me. But I really try in certain atmospheres that I am to wear the mask. But I seen a lot of like protesting and going on, and these people wasn't wearing masks. So I know that within the next couple weeks, whether it be true or not, there will be rising numbers of people coming up with this
you know that they're going to
coronavirus,
blame.
so.
Well, they said it's a spike already, and they're going to blame the protests when it's really the beaches, the people from the beaches.
Oh yeah,
that's
I heard
getting
that
sick.
some people got a couple people got sick at the Jersey Shore.
Yeah,
so it's gonna come from somewhere, but it was a lot of we had curfews. It was a lot going on. So riding around town this week, we had the National Guards. Oh, and before I go on, I want to remind everyone that you can watch the podcast and see Dawn and I both at Glockaware Radio on YouTube, or you can listen to us on the Glockaware Radio app. You can download that off of Google Play, and I'm not promoting Google, but that is exactly where you can download it from. So, in case you want to get to see both of us and you want to hear everything, go to Glockaware Radio, the app, or YouTube. So, as I was saying, the atmosphere was really crazy. Now, I live on 52nd and Girard. I live on 52nd Street, so I was living in the midst of a lot of the looting And I'm like in between ShopRite, in between 52nd and Market, and it was crazy. I mean, I just heard the ATMs blowing up at night. We heard them all night. Stores we didn't even know got looted, like all the little hair stores and stuff. I didn't even know they got looted. And as a matter of fact, if you paid attention, a lot of the Asians took this time to sell their businesses.
Oh.
So I know for a fact, like 3 stores in our area, when they open back up, Indians own them now.
Oh, wow.
So they sold their stuff while everything was shut down.
Wow.
And now they're owned by other people.
Interesting.
Who tried to charge us $2 extra for some lock gel, but I'm not gonna go there yet. So, and it was just like it was this craziness, just being in the midst of all of this, and then going outside, seeing the National Guard at ShopRite, seeing the National Guard on 52nd Street, like coming out of our block. Down the street, it was National Guard standing on the corner. They was on like both sides of the street. I'm like, really just, and I stopped and asked them like, what y'all think about being out here on the street? And they, they was, cordial. And they's like, it's different. You know what I'm saying? Just being out here patrolling. But I guess people were treating them really good or whatever. And they out here doing their job. But I just wasn't feeling like all the street closures. Like, and I just wasn't feeling like, so much looting. I get it, but I don't. I get certain stuff, but why y'all had to do Rite Aid? Because, see, I had an experience, and it wasn't fun. Because Babe needed his medicine, so we riding all around. So we needed a Rite Aid. So we trying to find us a Rite Aid or whatever. Why men don't never like to ask for direction?
Because they think they have this inner GPS.
No, ask for direct. He don't like doing none of the finagling and stuff on the phone. So I want him to go on Google Maps. Just go straight. So we just going straight, and we going straight and straight. So I'm like, baby, you really know where Rite Aid is? We should find one. Okay, I'm sure somewhere there is one. But while we are waiting, we're just going straight. We end up in Ambler, and the Rite Aid was closed because it was right after that. We just had that big storm and all the trees had fell down. So now we riding all over. We finally get to a Rite Aid. It's in Ambler. Now I'm calling because I finally just got the phone and started calling Rite Aids. Well, we're open till 10. All the Rite Aids had that they were open. None of the Rite Aids answering machines except for one said that they were closed. All of them said that they were open. So we're riding around. We get out to Ambler. The store is closed because the storm has blew out the electric. So, okay, I call Abington. So now I'm in Ambler on my way to Abington. Abington's, oh, yes, we're open. They were not open. So I'm trying to get home. Trees done fell everywhere. Now I can't get back because everywhere I go, there's a tree on the back road that fell. I end up having to get on the turnpike. If you pay any attention to a lot that's going on, a lot of our exits are now privately funding. The state hasn't really relayed that message to us. But if you happen to get off at an exit where there's probably not a person sitting there, there's a high likely chance that that area is probably funded, that highway. And that's why it's only an Easy Pass exit. So we get on. I don't have Easy Pass, but I have to go through the toll because I can't go no other way because the trees just fell down everywhere else. Right. So I get on. So now I'm mad. Now I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed because I went straight forever and there wasn't no Rite Aid open.
And he's still saying go straight.
No, he's just sitting there quiet now because I'm pissed. And now I'm really mad because now I got to go through this Easy Pass, and I know I'm going to get a ticket because there's nobody sitting here, and I don't have an Easy Pass. I can't drop no coins in the bucket like Jersey, so now I got to go through. And about half a mile up, there was another one. Now I'm really mad because I just had to go through 2 Easy Passes that wasn't a toll, and now I'm pissed because now I got 2 tickets, no medicine, rolling around for 3 hours, and I'm like, he just got his medicine yesterday. Yesterday. And that was the day that we had that storm. When was that? Thursday? What day was that? Like Thursday or Friday? When it would rain real hard?
Oh, yeah. That was Thursday.
Yeah.
And Thursday and Friday when it's bad, yeah.
Right, no. What's the day? Monday? No, he got his medicine on Saturday.
Okay.
We finally got it on Saturday. But
Where did you have to go?
We had to go out Chestnut Hill.
Are you serious?
None of the Rite Aids in the city was open, so we had to go out Chestnut Hill.
That is horrible.
And I was just like, I was over it. And then the next day when we did have to go get the medicine, the city was closed from South Street. The highways was closed from South Street to Calla Hill and from river to river. Mm-hmm. So we couldn't get on the expressway. I had to go all the way around, like to the suburbs, go through City Line Avenue, take Lincoln Drive, just to go out there to get the medicine. It was just very inconvenient. It was just annoying. I was going to say something, but I ain't going to say.
That's what he said for
medicine.
That's
what I was trying to see. That was easy. See, that's easy. See, I had mine, but see, he straight up. Because I was like, you just, you'll go to sleep. And then we wake up when the Rite Aid open. But finally got it. And he still ain't get all of it because his Rite Aid still ain't open.
Right.
So it's just like, it was so inconveniencing. But like I said, I understand, I understand the meaning behind it. I understand the symbolism. But like, are we really going to do something? Because like, it's so cliche. I don't want to say it's cliche. It's kind of hard because you never want to be on the wrong side. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I know that it's a need for it, but we've been marching for so long. You know what I'm saying? I know some things do come from the march, but are we really going to change policy this time? Like, are our policies really going to go in effect? Now, I did see Jordan Harris and the Criminal Reform Commission, if I'm not mistaken, that's what they're called. And they have like put in some guidelines that they wanted to. They wrote up some guidelines for hiring police, mm-hmm. like, and what the police should do. And it was really like everything that I would like to see. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? As far as even community where mm-hmm. they come from, because I think that's, like I said before, that's a big thing to me. Mm-hmm. I feel like, of course, we need some kind of law and order, mm-hmm. but I feel like 85% of the people who police the neighborhood should just come from out of that neighborhood. And I'm just going to always feel that way strongly because you understand people that you relate to. Mm-hmm. You understand people from your neighborhood. You understand people from your area. If I might see Lil Pookie and I know Lil Pookie ain't really that bad, but he just had a little problem, I might not be after arrest Lil Pookie like that or beat him over the head because I know his mom and I know that maybe he just having a little trouble. If I come from out of the neighborhood and everybody's a crackhead, you know what I'm saying? I might not care what he do. You understand what I'm saying? So it's really important because the problem is the empathy. It's the empathy thing. Like a lot of the police officers, and I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of them are not empathetic mm-hmm. to the issues mm-hmm. in our communities, and we have all of these crime and things in our communities because it's other underlying issues. Mm-hmm. We never want to touch the underlying issues. We just want to scratch on the surface, but we never really get deep. Mm-hmm. So with this whole protest thing, I'm just, wondering, are we really going to get deep after this? Are we going to continue? How do we move forward with change that actually shows and actually means something, that we're actually tangible, that we can see?
As I said to you in the car, I just believe that we have to keep protesting, keep emailing, keep petitioning until we see change. And the change that we really need to see, we know it needs to come from, on the local level, our local officials. So if we get some fresh blood and there's some young blood, I think the turnaround will be quicker. And I think that the pressure is mounting and is building on the politicians now. They know that they have to take action because our young people, they're like, it's almost
they don't care
fearless.
Like these young kids.
They don't care.
They different. They different.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They're definitely different. So, it's and as I always say, faith without works is dead. It's one thing to pray, but you got to get up and do something.
Right.
So if we're not going to do something, because it annoys me when I see people.
Prayer without action means nothing.
It means nothing. When I see people on comment on Facebook, oh, we got to pray. You got to pray and you got to do something else.
Right.
What else are you willing to do? So that's why I said, if I'm willing to go out and protest, I'm willing to walk. I don't care. I walked. I can't walk anymore. But if somebody out there knows where they're protesting, the location, let us know. We'll go out, We're not going. We're going for ourselves, but we're also going to go out and get a consensus of the people and to see and to talk, to see what is it, what's your hope, what's your expectation. We know that we need policy changes. We know that we need better policing. Now that they have this whole thing where we should defund the police. No, we need the police,
we don't want to completely defund.
We need it to be restructured.
Of course, but we do definitely need to restructure community relations. How much they're. I don't think police officers are actually paid a lot. Not in the city, because in the suburbs they pay way more and they do way less. They make way more money, but it's a structure thing, and it's also, like I said, it's an empathy thing, and it's a community. Mostly community miseducation between the community and the policing, but it's also it's so systematic, because I know that a lot of the police officers, when they go to take this job, I know they want to do better. Like, I know there's a lot of them that think that they take this job and they say, I'm gonna change, I'm gonna do something different, especially like a lot of black police officers. And then when they get in there, because it's so systematic, it's hard for them to scratch the surface. It's hard for them to really do anything. But you have to. Like, you guys that are out there, you black police officers, you guys are going to have to, I'm sorry, you're going to have to say, oh, no, we're not doing this. If you know that your partner or your coworker is doing something foul, it's your job to check them.
That's right.
Because if you want the community to trust you, if we see that your partner doing something, then we see you standing there and you letting them, we're not about to trust you.
Right.
You can come up and say, oh, I'm really not like that. That's how he is. Well, that's how you are too, because you watch them do it.
That's right.
So I can't see you any different. And so that's where the problem lies. I know that we need, to have some kind of order in our community, someone to make sure that things are moving harmoniously, but it needs to be more community relations, and stop giving people records that don't need them. They give people little records over little dumb stuff, like when you was young, you smoked a little marijuana. When you was 18, now you get locked up. Now you got a drug conviction. So now if you want to go to the military or you want to go to the become a police officer or something, you can't. You know what I'm saying? You want to be a state trooper, you got to have a college degree. I remember when I was in college, right? This was when I found out you had to have a college degree to be a state trooper. I was in school, and I went back to Penn State as an adult, and there was some young kids in my class. It was an Italian guy. He was the class clown. Never did his work, but he always had us laughing. It was another kid in the class. He was just taking general studies because he wanted to be a state trooper. So everybody was a little bit discussing what they were in school for. So the Italian guy asked this kid, like, what are you in school for? And so he said, I'm taking classes so I can be a state trooper. So the Italian guy turned around and said, you mean to tell me you got to have a degree to be a dick? It was so funny. Even the professor fell out laughing. Like, everybody just fell out laughing. And I was like, wow, like, so now you got to have a college degree. And this was like 2003, 4 when I was in school. So I'm like, now you got to have a college degree. Associate's degree in anything.
Right.
Just to be a state trooper.
Right.
For real, though. For real. Seriously.
But wait, didn't they
That's just a deterrent. That's another tactic.
True.
That's another tactic.
Did Charles Ramsey, when he was the police chief here, didn't he make it one of the qualifications you had to have so many college credits to be a Philadelphia police officer as well?
I don't remember.
You don't remember that?
Because that ain't hold up if that's the case. So that was scratch. They didn't. It didn't work because they're not getting no.
I don't think they're getting a ton of recruits. Period.
They getting a ton of them, but they need to take them. Some of these young kids that I see out here, they scared to death.
And I think the training is only like 5 months long.
Going out there, start shooting. Just start shooting. If they move, shoot. Like, what the?
For the level of because, there is some trauma to the job. Because especially for these ones that's scared, they don't, like, you seeing your first dead body, you're being shot at or you're shooting at someone. That's traumatic.
That's very traumatic.
So, like, I really think that there should be an age requirement and not make it 21, maybe make it 26 or
25.
something. Yeah,
something a little bit.
Yeah, when they're a little more mature, that they might can handle it. They handle the responsibility
Yes.
of it, because that's a lot.
That's
It's
a
very
lot for a
traumatic,
kid.
and during their first few years, they will need to make counseling mandatory for their new recruits,
Right.
because
I know it's a
that's
whole lot of PSDT.
yeah,
go
that
with it.
adjustment period is rough. And to also talk about any of the quirks or anything that they're finding that they're uncomfortable with, such as a bad partner, whatever the case, because they don't know the ins and outs of how to work and maneuver in the system.
Right.
So that's a whole nother
Right.
thing. From my understanding, one of the guys that was one of the officers on George Floyd, that was only his second day. And the guy that was on his
Wow.
neck was his superior that day. And he told him, like, can we roll him up? He asked him and told him, like, this isn't right. And the guy told him no.
Right.
So here, this man is being charged. You got fired. You being
And now
charged.
you going to jail because you
Second day on the street.
scared.
And-
Don't
and
even know what to
don't
do.
even
Put
know
in a
what to do.
position where now I don't know whether to say something to save this guy or just because
And he
might
tried.
and wait. So what about they work together, the cop and George Floyd?
Okay, that's why I said last
that
week.
is
It's
pretty much-
personal.
That's very personal.
That's a personal
So,
vendetta.
but my thing is that was never brought up. So because to me, if you knew a person, that probably would be considered premeditated murder. I would think like 9 minutes on his 8 whatever seconds, and you knew him. You guys worked together. You weren't strangers.
At all. Worked together for 7 years, I think.
Yeah, it was a few years too.
Yeah,
It wasn't like we
yeah.
worked together. You was a
Yeah,
temp. I worked
yeah,
with you last
yeah,
week.
like
No,
7 years,
we
something
worked
like that,
together for
yeah.
a long time. So he knew what he was dealing with. He knew what he was working with. So he just killed this person on purpose. You know what I'm saying? And wow, like they haven't brought. I haven't heard besides the owner of the restaurant that actually said that they work together. I haven't heard anything else about that at all.
You have, and I'm disgusted with the media trying to drag him.
Of course.
You know, and I think
Well,
it's a
you know that's what
problem
they do.
whenever there's a shooting involving police officers or somebody white, but they always dragging the victim. I don't care what happened. This guy was innocent.
Right.
He was innocent all the way around. I don't care about his criminal history. He did not deserve to be somebody's knee on his neck, his chest, his legs. He didn't deserve any of that. Any of that. But yet and still, y'all try to negate the fact that this man is dead and justify this by saying he was a criminal. He was on heroin or something else they're trying to say. He was, I don't
Oh,
know.
he had corona too.
Yeah, they had-
Sprinkle a little crack on it. Remember Dave Chappelle, everything like sprinkle a little crack on. Then you got corona. Like,
You know, come on, what does that have to do
Get
with
outta here.
anything? It has nothing to do with the act. Let's stick with the act. The fact is, this man is dead
it's a
by
deterrent.
no doing of his own. By some rogue police officers. But yet and still, y'all want to shift the blame
And look how
and
many
put it on George.
and how many other black males have been killed by police officers in the last since he was murdered. About 3 or 4. The guy in Louisville, the restaurant owner,
Yeah.
that fed the cops for free. That's why you should see. That's why you
Yeah.
shouldn't don't feed them. They killed them. They
did kill
fed him, and now look, they shot him, killed this man. And what about the guy in Los Angeles?
The one that died last night?
It was one last night, but it was another one in California. Was it California? Because it's happening in so many places that you can't even keep track. And what about the Breonna Taylor?
She
The
needs
girl.
much attention. Like I've signed. I'm petitioning. I'm signing petitions on Twitter every day. Like
Yes.
several.
Yes.
Several a day. Like
Yes.
this is ridiculous.
It's
Breonna
really,
Taylor.
really
Say her name.
ridiculous.
Don't forget her name.
Yes.
You know those officers need to be charged. How do
They
you
all
barge
should
in
be
somebody's
charged. Like
place?
it's
You at the
just
wrong
it's,
address.
It's just like the sad part is it's like they feel like they can just barge into our homes and it's okay. They're not afraid to barge into our homes. You understand what I'm
Right.
saying? But if they was in the backwoods of one of these towns
They ain't gonna
where
do
they
it.
got private property, they'd be asking, can they come on their property first? And it's like we don't get no. It's like Rodney
respect.
Dangerfield. We don't get no respect. Like they
None.
just feel like they can just barge in your house. And then if you were to say, "Oh, I didn't know who it was," and shoot, and you in your house, you know 9 times out of 10, you're going to jail, whether you was in your house or not.
They had a no-knock warrant at her place, correct? Am I right?
So that's what they said.
But wait, they changed.
What the heck?
They changed the law to
what's a no-knock warrant? So I'm just so you just sitting at the kitchen table. I'm just gonna barge in and shoot you.
Yeah. So I know that they updated the policy around that no-knock warrant. I just haven't had a chance to really delve into it to see what changed. But this stuff has to stop. It has to stop. And we have to bring attention to it. We need. That means cry, kick, scream, whatever. I think we have their attention now. We just cannot afford to loosen our grip on it. We gotta see it through, because sometimes we'll do stuff, then the fire, we get tired and it fizzle out.
Right.
We cannot, as a people, afford to fizzle out, to get tired. If you're gonna take a break, but get back out there in the game. Like, bring attention. George Floyd, never forget. Breonna Taylor, Sandra Bland, all of these people.
Sandra Bland, like Eric Garner, still no justice for him.
None.
You know what I'm saying? The guy that got shot in the back. It's so many of them. Of Castile,
Ahmaud Arbery,
Philando Castile.
Although his situation was a little different, but
the thing,
the premise is
but
the same.
It's the audacity. You know what I'm saying? To think that you can police somebody. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Like, who in the hell do you think you are? That if I'm running down this block, you can pull up in your truck and ask me, none of your business where I'm. Don't ask me. And I know that's how I'm gonna answer. Like, none of your business. Like, who is you? Like, don't ask me shit, because I can go wherever I want to go. And the thing is, it's like they know that. Well, they don't know. They feel like they are your superior. Like, they are over you, and they can ask you. And they really think that they got the right. I'll be ready to smack this. Like, I hate. Like, don't ask me shit for real.
Right.
It makes me mad. And then I'm the angry black woman, which I don't give a fuck.
God, no.
You'll call me an angry black woman all you want, because guess what? I am. I'm angry about a lot of stuff, and I'm tired. And, people feel like they can treat us any way they want, talk to us any way they want, and do us any way they want. But we are not like our ancestors. Like, we will use our hands. Like, we not them. We think different. And these kids, they really don't even have the values that we came up, because I had my grandparents, I had my great-grandparents, I even had my great-great-grandparents.
Right.
Because I had a great-grandmother that lived until she was 104. Mm-hmm. So she told me lots of stuff. One mainly leading on my own. But, you know what I'm saying? And so the kids, they don't have a lot of that. Mm-hmm. A lot of their elders are incarcerated, or a lot of the mothers or women are too busy to really sit them down and really have these conversations with them that they really need. And so they out here, trying to figure it out the best way they can. But, a lot of them becoming conscious too.
Yeah.
And they not going to stand by, like, and just idly stand by, like they're doing something. Whether it's looting, wrong, whether they're marching, whether they're standing out in the street, whether they're laying out in the street, they're actually getting involved. And I like to see that the young children get involved, but they need to be guided properly, so that they don't, so that they're not hurt, that they're not putting themselves in danger. Because at the end of the day, it ain't going to change overnight. Right. And the police are still, a lot of them are trying to be civil, but we still see, like, they pushed that 75-year-old man.
Yeah,
like, they pushed this man on the ground, split his head open, and then when the other officers were trying to help him up, they were blocking the other officers from helping him. You know what I'm saying? And there wasn't no need for that. See, and that's the kind of coward. That's cowardly to me. Like, you're a coward. Like, I don't see you as like a hero or somebody that I would want to run to my rescue. I don't see you in that light. If you can, and if you, because first of all, you wouldn't have pushed me away if you would have pushed that old man down, because I would have helped him and I would have pushed you.
Right.
You would have got away from me.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Because that was dead wrong.
That's right.
But that's what I'm saying.
And you have a moral compass. And
yes. And see, that's why it would be hard for me to take a job like that, because I know me. Like, I would have got fired the next day or probably the next week, because me and one of my compadres probably would have said call somebody an animal, because I heard them call us animals around their partners, and their partners don't say nothing. Like
That's weird.
Like you gonna let, because these are your people that you come from, or is you the cop or what is it, Boys in the Hood? I hate the black around your lip, black around your gums.
Child.
You know what I'm saying?
These
So
folks.
it's just nutty. So now we still talking about like police brutality overseas, because it's overseas. You know what I'm saying? By proxy, like, and it's crazy. It's 2020.
And we still.
That's why I'm like, I got the whole concept, but the march and stuff, like,
And I
it's
think
really like, you know.
we also need to hold our black organizations accountable. The NAACP, anything that has to deal with our civil rights, we have to put some fire to their feet as well, because sometimes they lax. They just sit back and I know that they're funded, they were started, and but you gotta,
it be that agenda.
Yeah,
see, that's the whole
but
thing.
But the thing is, if now you out here for the advancement of colored people, so now these colored folks want to see you advance. We want to see some advancement. So we're gonna hold you accountable as well.
Well, we ain't sending in no NAAC fund.
None.
That's where our protests really need to be. We don't need to buy. If we stop buying anything, we be so in control. I mean, we spend what they say, we spend about $4 trillion every year. We ain't got no money though. We broke. But we spend $4 trillion, $5 trillion. How? I know I probably spent $6 trillion on quarantine from Amazon and Wayfair and all this old stuff. And that's all and really, it's funny that they say, like, I know it's been a hard time for a lot of people losing their jobs. Mm-hmm. But for a lot of people like myself and a lot of us who still were fortunate enough to be able to work and have income, we've been kind of like keeping the economy flowing, because we in the house or at the markets consistently, because we ain't got nothing else to do, buying stuff. Because I'm just keep buying stuff. And now I'm just gotta hide, trying to hurry up and get to the mailman. Before you don't need nothing. I ain't getting nothing.
Where I'm gonna put it,
And that is the whole thing. Because I was looking at my closet today at my shoes, and I'm sitting there like, I really need a walk-in closet, and there's really no room in this room for one. It's either gonna be the closet or a bed. We need the bed, so.
Hey, I'm trying
to
tell you.
We need the bed, the closet or the bed, because I got so much stuff. It's crazy stuff. But like I said, we it's a lot out here with the protests. It's good to see the people coming together to do something positive, but it's also, like I said, puzzling to see what's going to happen next.
And that's it. I'm interested to know what's going to happen next. Hopefully, I'm going to remain hopeful. That's just the optimist in me, that our community leaders will get out in the community and let us know when they're having meetings.
Right.
So we can bring our concerns and we can know what's going on, and see what kind of, and then like our state reps and bring them in, and we can sit down and we can voice our opinion, and we can find out what actually collectively, what can we do. Right. And as I said last week, I really believe that, and I feel this in my heart, that we as a people individually, whatever you're good at, if somebody wants to start a reading club to make the kids conscious, our young people who's 18 to 21 years old, who really don't know where to start teaching, because a lot of us are ignorant to black history, real black history.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
if we have somebody that would start a black history class in the neighborhood, it's something that can be done. If you might not can protest, you might be able to sew. Teach the kids how to sew. Do something where we have to get our kids while their mind and stuff is still young and formidable and impressionable, and we can download some good stuff on it. The tide has to change, and it is, now's the time. So get in there while we can, and watch.
And it's the perfect time because the kids are home. They've been home for so long. For so long, my niece and my granddaughter are so funny. So they've been debating on whether they were African or American. because they ain't come from Africa. So,
Okay.
and they 10, and they 10. My granddaughter is 11, and my niece is 13, 14. I think she just turned, I think she's 14. Yeah. Nadira is 14. And her daddy, my mom called me like, you need to talk to them. They're arguing. I love it. They're having an open dialogue conversation. Let them express their, their little grievances amongst each other. It's good for them to debate and to learn.
And that shows they're informed.
Right. And then they call me and I say, you're both a little right. We there's a little bit of truth to both of it. No, we didn't actually come from Africa, but we do have African ancestry, but we have a lot of Native American ancestry as well. I know for a fact that I do. So you're a little bit, country, a little bit rock and roll. You're a little bit mixed up around here. So
right.
you're both right. You know what I'm saying? There's no need to argue. You just agree that you're both right. There is the heritage there, but we did not actually come from Africa.
Right.
So, but it was, I laughed because I was like, oh, they listen. Because I know they listening to me. They listening when we talking. You know what I'm saying? And that's good to have the kids listening. And it's good, like you said, to do some Black history with them and teach them what the schools are not going to teach them.
And I'll be excited to see what the new history books are going to contain. The new African American history books with all of this rights, with all of this. The pictures are magnificent. Although
it's so
the story behind it is sad, but the pictures are, I think they Pulitzer Prize winning. They are
there is
beautiful
a lot of Pulitzer Prize pictures out there.
Oh my gosh. So I'm excited for the new history books that are going to be written, and we can tell them ourselves. We can tell the story ourselves.
Oh, excuse me. Can we have some Black PhD educators write those history books, please? Please, let's have some Black PhD educators write those history books, okay? Because we know that in like Texas, they have outlawed slavery in any of their educational books. So in Texas, they're not allowed to put slavery in their books. And there's a video on YouTube with a lady doing homework with her son, and it says that the slaves were indentured servants who came to America willingly to work for free. So you don't want your kid to listen to that nonsense. You don't want your kid to get a hold of a school book that's telling them something that is a lie, flat out just a lie. Like, we all know that they ain't came over here to work for free and get their ass whipped. Like this book is telling you that they did. You understand what I'm saying? And his sister, like I said, you can find it on YouTube. It was a Black woman, and she was like, I can't believe they actually got this in the school book, but this is what they're doing. My thing is, how can you outlaw the truth?
Right.
How can you outlaw the truth? What are you trying to hide when you say, I'm going to have a law? Because you can have a law not to put slavery in the books, but you can't have a law not to have a cop with my ass or have his knee on my neck for 8 minutes and 48 seconds. But you're going to have a law that my kids can't understand the truth about who they are or what they come from. Understand, if you forget where you came from, you'll go back to where you were at.
Right.
You can't forget that this is what our ancestors went through. You can't forget that this is where our people come from. You can't stay there, but you can't forget, so you don't go back there. You understand what I'm saying? And these kids, they need the revolution. Like they said, the revolution will be televised. The revolution is right now being televised, as we can see. Hopefully, like I said, this is just not for the hour. It's hot this week. You know what I'm saying?
And every week we're going to talk about this to keep it on the forefront.
Yes, yes.
So if you guys are aware of protests or demonstrations or anything, please let us know, because as we were talking earlier, I was not aware who the organizers were for Saturday or Friday, any of that, because I would have been out there, because I kind of like that kind of stuff. Get out there,
because I didn't know who was behind that this week. I would have probably, we probably could have went down there and did some lives down there had we actually know. But if you know who, because like I was talking to during the day when she was saying about who's behind it. I think to me it's important to find out actually who's behind these protests, because I don't want to be like marching in no Donald Trump Black Lives Matter protest.
Right.
Then you hear on Monday, oh, that was that was the GOP. You be like, what? You know what I'm saying? Because people have hidden agendas, and you don't know. You get out there, and you might be marching against your cause and don't really understand that you are. So I think it is important to find out like who was funding that. But this weekend, it was a lot of it was a lot of stars. It was a lot of entertainers in the city this weekend that I actually didn't know was going on. I seen it on the news.
And then we have the celebrities who are not in the limelight at the moment, but they are bailing people out. And I just sometimes I think we hold these celebrities too high up.
Well, they just people.
Yeah, they're just people, and because they're not advertising and promoting what they're doing, is well, what is so and so doing? We haven't heard from them. Just because you haven't heard. And it gets leaked. Oh, they did X, Y, and Z.
But it's none of your business.
Leave them alone.
I'm saying? Like, you don't know what people are doing behind the scenes, and it is not for you to know every single thing that somebody is doing. It as long as they're doing it, that's just up to the creator and whoever they're doing that good deed for. Because you just can't say, "Oh, I don't know who's doing."
Listen, Beyonce did her video, and they they tried to drag her on.
They always try
on
to drag
Twitter,
her,
like
though.
it was a monotone, and she.
What's she supposed to be like?
Out
I'm seeing the protest. She gonna be rocking chinchilla. What you
Come on, hey Jay, they bailing out the darn protesters. What do you want?
God.
You want this?
They want her to do a whole video. She got to get dressed up and put the tight clothes on so she can come out there.
She looked like she was reading from a script.
So what if she was?
Serious?
It's you can't please them. Like, it just don't matter. Like, if she would have came out there singing and dancing, they would have been like, Beyonce think it's a game. Come out there talking about rocking the chilling. You can't. There's no in between, because Beyonce ain't had to say nothing.
She didn't have to say
anything. She could have stayed home with her little
and
kids,
just kept writing her
babies.
checks.
She getting checks all day. She ain't got to address anything if she doesn't want to. So people just,
So, and I just think that if we find a
focus
happy
on the
medium within our community and just work our sphere of influence, see what we can do individually, collectively, and then massively. But again, at the beginning, it starts with us. What can I do?
Right.
Is there something that I can offer to help bring change to my community, to my people? Let me start individually. Then we'll move on locally, collectively, then massively. It is what it is. But I got to figure out what I can do.
Right.
And maybe I can't do nothing but go and protest. That's fine. Maybe maybe I can't host a reading group. That's fine.
Right.
Maybe I can't teach the kids to sew. But the thing is, I'm playing a part. So when somebody asks me,
something small,
what did I do? How did I participate? I can give an answer.
Something is better than doing
Something
nothing.
is better than nothing. Than you voicing your
Your
darn opinion
and didn't do jack.
Because you're sitting home talking about, I just prayed. Shut up.
That's why.
And I'm gonna say it again. Shut up.
Sitting home just prayed all day. You better get up and go do something. Even Jesus ain't just sit down and prayed all day. He went and did something. Didn't even turn some wine into water into wine and all kinds of stuff.
He was about social injustice.
Yes, he was. So I'm just saying, like, the prophet, social injustice. They wasn't just praying. They went and did something. So it's like, It's a good and a bad time. It's there are no changes come without upheaval. There's always like upheaval before change. So we need the cleansing, and it's a good thing because as I said before, whether people like it or not, demographics are changing. Things are changing. So we just have to stay on the same page, keep our eyes on the prize, which is justice. And I don't know about equality. That's kind of cliche when you say justice and equality. Because I'm biased. We need more than equal. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need more.
We're going to take the equal at the moment. If we can get the equal, I'm not saying we'll stay there, but we're going to take what we can get. We want justice. We're going to get justice when we're going to get equality. Then we'll move on to the next thing after equality.
We ain't going to get it. We're going to have to take it.
All right, well, we'll take it. All right,
We ain't going to get it because we ain't get it yet. We would keep waiting on marching down there. We going to get it. Well, no, we're not going to get it like that. That's the part where I'm having my whole thing with the protest. We shall over. I'm started saying it like I'm very. But you just can't do that. Like you just can't be clunking people in the head like you really want to, like they be doing. Because if that was the case, we'd be clunking like. And I posted something on my Facebook page, which is so true. Like they should be glad that we just want equality and not revenge.
That's true. And we need equality, and as I said last week, we need the laws to be changed. So this is why it's so important for justice. It's so important that we have lawyers, that we have trial attorneys, that we have research attorneys. It is so important that we have paralegals.
Yes.
These people are vital to go in and to research and to challenge these laws and stuff that is on the books that is unfair to our black and our brown people. Things that are hurting them. A simple charge that can paralyze them careerly, like, and financially for the rest of their life. It isn't right.
And then you might not be able to get it expunged, because they do have a lot of expungement clinics, but everything doesn't get expunged.
That's true.
So when you're going to learn about expungement, some stuff ain't getting expunged, you know. So you know what I mean?
It's unbelievable. Now, last week, before we ended, we talked about. You gave a few suggestions. I bought 2 books, so I started reading.
Okay, I did buy. I did get A Slavery by Another Name.
I got that.
Did you get it? Because I got it on Google ebook.
Okay.
Because it was sold out on Amazon.
Who did I get mine from? I think I might have got mine from Apple.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I got one from Apple, and I bought the new Jim Crow.
Okay, now I've read that one.
And I do have the guy from the Black Panther. I do have that.
Which one? Bobby Seale or
him. Mm-hmm. I can't call his name. Yeah, Carmichael.
Stokely Carmichael.
Stokely Carmichael. So I do have that. So we're not just suggesting things for you to broaden your mind. We're doing it as well.
And like I suggested to you guys when I did that live at home that day, Slavery by Another Name, it is really, really a good book. Like, you guys should get that book. It was only $7 on Google ebook. So get that and read that, because it's good.
The first chapter,
really good.
I'm floored.
Right.
I'm like, yo, I'm getting an attitude. Like, who? Yo, what the hell? You locking somebody up for vagrancy? For what?
Because you was outside.
Because he was outside and knew he didn't have no money.
You ain't got nowhere to go.
Then you lease him.
Yeah.
Lease him.
Then you gonna sell sell all of them to the prison. Like you just gonna sell
and
all.
And then you
these...
put him in jail, and he's tied the hell up. Like he back and so, girl, I got so mad. I said, yo, I'm pissed off. Like yo,
I got mad about the young guy that had to go into the mine.
Yeah.
And they put him in the mine, and they put him all the way down inside the mine, and he died in there, and they died down inside the mine, and then after they die in there, they just leave him down in there. These are the things that they did to our ancestors. And that kid could have been one of our ancestors.
And it was not that long ago. And it was like 1900, 1903, 1904. Like, anybody who's in denial of this is a problem. And if you read the book, you'll see this is a systemic problem. It has to be challenged. It has to be changed. But you cannot challenge it and you cannot change it if you are uneducated about it. So please do your due diligence and read. Broaden your perspective. I'm telling you, you're going to be irritated. You're going to be annoyed. You're going to be angry. You're going to be upset. But it'll open your mind up to see where change really needs to happen and how far we've come, which is not that far.
Not that far at all. And so, like I said, you guys, if you guys get some of the books that me and Dawn are talking about while you're on our live, we can see your questions. If you have questions or if you have something that you want to discuss in either a new Jim Crow or A Slavery by Another Name, I also have the ISIS Papers. Now, I've read that a long time ago, but that's like one of those books that's like a reference book. It's by Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. She was a sociology professor, and she studied Black history studies, and she's all that. Mm-hmm. And that book is really, really good. It's called The ISIS Paper. It talks all about all the stuff that's still going on with us right now and why it's going on and the underlying causes of why these things go on. And we should read these books, because a lot of times we don't like to read stuff because it's going to challenge things that we grew up with, things that we've learned. But if you're not going to open your mind and challenge yourself to learn something different, then you really can't change anything. You have to be open-minded if you want change, and that's just the bottom line.
And
you have to be open-minded.
Slavery by Another Name is just today's term of pipeline to prison.
That's all it is. It's the prison. That's all it is. That's all.
It's in black and white.
School to prison pipeline, and like born to prison pipeline, because you just born and you're wrong, and it's like, to see it through the eyes of a Caucasian person, to see it through the eyes of a white person that wrote this book, because it's a white author, it's really eye-opening. Not that they haven't done a lot of historical work, but the magnitude of this book to really talk about the black codes, because we don't have lots of books out there that really explain the black codes. The black codes are in, like I said before, they're in play right now. They just don't call them the black codes no more. They just come in your house when they want to, pull you over, stop and frisk, search your car. These are the black codes. These things, these laws were written pre-antebellum South. All of that.
All that's in that book.
These things were written right after they said, we can't make you work for free no more. We can do this now. So you have to enlighten yourself. Read the Constitution. I know it's boring. Nobody wants to read it, but read it anyway. Because guess what? You can't go out there and say, it's my constitutional right, and you don't even know what it is because you ain't read it. It's important for us to educate ourselves. But that's our show for tonight. It was a good show. I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you next Monday at 6.
All right.